Hey guys, and welcome back to another video and, well, another sneak peek as well, because today we're taking a look one more time at the super troops, and we have the new super troop, which is the Hound. He's a really cool looking guy with his scarf and everything. I really like the design, and I think he's going to be one of the tankiest troops in Clash of Clans. He has 10,000 HP, which is pretty crazy, but he comes with a troop housing space cost of 40, which is quite a bit. So is it worth it to use him? How do you use him? Everything discussed in this video. And at the end of the video, as a small reaction thing, I would say, we're taking a look at the Electron with super wizards, because that's what you guys suggested. So stay tuned for that. Let's get started with the Hound. The Hound is a super tanky troop, and the special ability of him is, well, exploding and basically being the ice golem of Clash of Clans. To all of you guys who are now saying, yeah, that's kind of boring, that's another reuse, if you want to say. To be honest, I don't care, because he's super useful, and I think he's really strategic to use, because with the new update, you not only have the possibility of bringing two super troops to the battle, which means you could run super hounds and super warbreakers, for example. Not only that, but in addition to that, you can use the normal version of the super troop as well, which means you can go really strategic at things and can kind of just like plan if you want to use the normal hound on the first air defense, because there's just an archer tower next to it, and then on the second air defense there is a scatter shot and an eagle next to it, and that's where you want to use the Hound. So he's really useful, really strategic, but obviously there are other use cases as well. So for example, the clan castle. I mean, the use code ITSU clan castle is really, once again, trying to defend the Queen George, I guess, on 5 buildings. Either way, the annoying thing about the Hound, once again, is that targets which he's hitting, for example, the air defense on offense, the Queen on defense, is getting slowed, like by the attack speed. This being said, it takes ages for the Queen to take down the Hound, and then after that, she's getting frozen as well. So that's taking quite a bit. But now compare that to the normal Hound, because obviously there are some good and some bad options. Because with the normal Hound, you have way more DPS, which basically means that you have to freeze or sometimes use a poison or something, because there are headhunters in as well. In the Super Hound clan castle, there's only 5 more housing space, so it has some pros, some cons. I think it's a viable clan castle option. Might not be the strongest, but hey, sometimes you want to mix it in there just to keep things, well, just keep mixing things up. Wow, I think I messed that up. Either way, let's get into a couple of attacks and let's see how I can use that on offense. The first thing is quite obvious, right? I mean, it's really obvious that you're using the Hound on LaLoon. I mean, that's not a big surprise to anyone, because that was quite obvious. But how do you use it? Today, we have the possibility of bringing all of the sneak peeks together with, well, the new siege machine, the new spell, and then the Hound, obviously. So we're doing a really nice, cool looking Sui. I think, at least I found it cool. I don't know, maybe I was the only one. We froze the town on all the poison for the clan castle, and then obviously like trying to funnel the king in. King, queen, royal champion, everything in there, and then we have the LaLoon for the back end. So my goal right now is to get the sweeper as well, and as soon as we get the sweeper, we can get the LaLoon in from the left side. So far, so good. Now it's all about, are the Hounds worth it to bring? And I think yes, because they're just so tanky. It's insane. The only thing which I have to still work on is my LaLoon, obviously, but still, it's getting slowly better, because I'm enjoying LaLoon quite a bit, and so I'm doing it quite often at the moment, so I'm getting better slowly. The next thing which I did wrong on this one, I placed the second Hound too early, which is causing the Inferno Tower to lock onto it, because my plan actually was to have the second Hound exploding on the Eagle air defense, which would have caused the Eagle to get frozen. So you still have to be kind of careful with how and when you're placing actually your Hounds. But overall, I think it's a great addition. It's really bringing another level into the LaLoon section, because it was already like a really, really high skilled strategy. So I really love it. I think every single thing which got added to the game is viable for LaLoon attacks. So that's pretty crazy. I think this is going to bring LaLoon on another level, but at the same time, it's a really complicated strategy, especially if you're not using lightnings and there are just so many spells to use. So that's the first use case, which is quite obvious, I think. Then the next one is with dragons or electro dragons. Sometimes you're going really early on into an air defense. And for example, you all know those kind of teaser-based air defense where a lot of things are staying around it. For example, like Inferno Tower, Expos, Scattershot, all those things. That's where this Hound could be used as well. I don't have like one of those bases at the moment, so I will just show you guys the next option, which for me is the Queen Charge LaLoon. It's really nice because you only have this one Hound normally on the capacity. And this means you have to decide if you're bringing one Hound or two Hounds. That's the only option which you had so far. And most of the time you're looking for something in between. And that's exactly what this Ice Hound is. He's something in between of two Hounds because he's really tanky and he's having the freeze effect. So that's really great as well, especially for a kind of cheap LaLoon because, you're doing a Queen Charge before that. So that's something which is really nice for Queen Charge LaLoon as well. So that's another buff, I guess, as well. At the same time, you have the flexibility of obviously choosing that if you're in a clan war, for example. You saw on defense as well that if I would have not brought this one wizard, this Ice Golem would have taken forever to be taken down. The next thing which you can see one more time over here, really useful, is the new spell. This charge right now would have not been possible without the invisibility spells because I would have needed to use freezes, and with this freeze I could have not hit every target which my queen was getting shot by. So this is why the invisibility spell is just so strong. It's crazy. Now the king and the royal champion are clearing the bottom side. My blimp in the beginning already cleared the town hall, so far so good. Royal champion is doing the next thing. So far, once again, so good. And now it's all about me because I recorded this quite in the morning, so I was not that fast and I was not really able to hit the stupid healers. So you guys can see one more time, this spell is an invisibility spell and not an invincible spell because my healers still died even though they were invisible. But that's quite unfortunate, I would say. Either way, my royal champion actually took care of too many air defenses, and this is causing my Ice Hound now being not the most useful thing because I planned to have the Ice Hound on top of the air defense, which was right next to the scatter, which in the end didn't work out. But it's an overkill anyway. We can swag the freaking rage. Let's go. And you can see it's a pretty strong troop which is getting added to the game. I really like the mechanic. We had already the Ice Golem, which was the ground version of this, but I really like it that we have this now on the offense in the air version as well. I really think that's a really nice addition to the game. But obviously it's really hard to be really creative about this. So that's my top 3 kind of use cases: Sui LaLoon or like Zap LaLoon or something like that. Then obviously the Queen Charge LaLoon and dragons. So now let's get into one more thing, which you guys asked me a couple of times in the comments about the super wizards because they're really cool looking. So you guys try to find something good for them, and that's the super wizards Electron Blimp. I don't know how to call this, but either way, it looks kind of cool. But one thing which I was wondering about, I think I would have gotten the same with only one rage and a Yeti Blimp. So not sure if that's that useful. But let's try it with the clone spell, right? So let's see if it's somehow useful. I'm using, by the way, a blimp which is filled with 1 giant and 4 super wizards, and that's the problem for the clone spell at the moment because the stupid giants are getting cloned. So I don't think that's the most useful thing. It was kind of fun to use. Maybe you guys can make it work, but I failed at this point. And the next thing about the super wizard, which you guys tried to find, was about funneling. You guys said it would be really useful for funneling. Now my question to all of you guys is when and where. Let's take a look at this base where you can see it. Where would you use a super wizard as a funnel? And remember, that's 10 housing space. 10. That's a baby dragon basically. And the baby dragon is way more tankier than the super wizard. And the super wizard splash is just really unreliable. And that's the problem with the super wizard, in my opinion, that it's just 60% less damage. And that's a lot. That's a freaking crazy amount. So I'm not really sure about where and when to use it. I think the best way on how to use the Super Wizard is still the Golem Super Wizard spam version. But we will see. We will see. I'm really looking forward to all of you guys try it. And one more time, let's get back to the Ice Hound or to the Super Hound. I think it's a really cool addition, even though some of the people might say, okay, this is just a copied Ice Golem into Ice Hound version. But I really think it's something cool, something fresh for the air, especially it brings a really nice thing to the game. So I really like that. Looking forward to use that. And well, that's already it for today. That's already it, yep. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys back tomorrow for the next video. Until then, see ya and bye bye.